Cedar Falls. I'm Amanda Huseman, Communications Specialist for the City of Cedar Falls. Our show welcomes you to learn more about exciting events, news, and updates going on in our community. The 2020 census is underway, and as the City of Cedar Falls works to help our area get a complete count, we would like to discuss how important the census is to the future of our community. Here to help is the City GIS Analyst and Census Liaison, Corey Hines.
Hi.
Hi, Corey. So, first, can you explain what the census is to people that might be a little unclear?
Yeah, so the United States Census Bureau, every 10 years, has the goal set out to count each person one time in one place. And that helps to lay out the representation for the United States House of Representatives and determine how many seats each state has. The other important thing that it also does is it allocates and distributes $650 billion or more for things like public schools, public education, roads, bridges, and many other improvement projects.
Yep. And obviously that's very important to our state as a whole, but can you talk more about the impact it has locally here in Cedar Falls?
Yes, obviously for Cedar Falls, it's very important. It allows our community to help plan things like future public services, public schools, hospitals, and then it also will help determine how the Iowa House of Representatives is broken up across the state as well.
So when it comes to the census, who needs to be counted as part of the survey?
So for 2020, the survey is a short form. It is 7 questions, and it will ask how the house is broken up, whether or not it is owner-occupied or rented. And then it will ask questions about each individual person in the house, so age, gender, race, origin, and then it asks how those people are all related within that home. And that is very important because everything is needs to be counted. For Cedar Falls, we have a lot of college students. So, if they live here and they stay here for the majority of the year, we want them to be counted in Cedar Falls. Any foreign born people that are in the United States and again living here the majority of the time, we want them to be counted. And of course, children obviously want to be counted individually. So.
Yes, and actually, they're usually, that's a common misconception of the census. Young children, they definitely count, and we definitely want to help plan for their future.
Very much so. I think the common misconception that you're even talking about is that if they're not an adult, they shouldn't be counted, and that's not true at all. So, yep.
So is the information that we share in the census safe?
Yes, the information is safe. The United States Census Bureau is required by the U.S. Code to keep it safe. And they do not distribute it for any other reason other than just general statistics, and personal information is not shared.
How can the census be filled out?
For 2020, they've added to be able to do it online. So in about mid-March, people would have gotten a form in the mail with a unique code, and they can go online and fill out the census. It takes about 5 to 6, maybe 7 minutes. Or they could also call it in by phone, either one.
All right, so there's a lot of different ways to do it. Doesn't
Yes.
take very long, and it has a major impact.
It does, very much so.
So how close is Cedar Falls to reaching that 100% count?
As I checked in June, early June, we are at 70.4%, which is above the average that the state has, but obviously the goal is to get to 100%, so we still have a ways to go to get there. The deadline for submitting the data is September 30th.
Yeah, and I believe that the last time that we had a census, Cedar Falls ended at about 79%, so definite room for improvement.
Yeah.
How can the community learn more about the census?
So at the federal level, the census has got a website called 2020census.gov where they can find out more information about the importance of the census and how it works. Locally, they can go to the website ucount-bhc.com to get more information locally.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming on and to discuss this important topic, so we really appreciate it.
All right, thanks for being here.
We're looking forward to obtaining a complete census count for Black Hawk County in 2020. By obtaining a complete count, we're going to be able to secure our fair share of federal funding for important programs like health, housing, and education. Thank you very much for joining us, Cedar Falls. We look forward to seeing you next time.
the 2020 census. Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.